let's talk about old paradigm versus new paradigm. Old paradigm is old beliefs, old systems that were built, made, ruled hundreds of years ago in doing things a certain way. New paradigm is a new paradigm, a new relationship, a new time of being in which we get to write our own rules, right? This is the new paradigm that we're coming into right now. Old paradigm is you had to work really hard for money. You had to give up things. You had to sacrifice a lot of things. Money didn't grow on trees. Money was hard to come by. All old paradigm things that you had to work really freaking hard, that you had to push, pull, do anything to be able to receive anything you wanted. Because anything to be successful, you had to work really hard. Nothing comes easy. Oh my gosh, how many times did my father tell me that? Whoa. How many times do I still hear him say that when we talk? Whoa. New paradigm is in a balance between masculine and feminine energy. It's allowing the universe to it's co-creating with the universe, allowing the universe to meet you halfway, to say, I have this really big desire that I want to receive. And here's my inspired action I'm going to take and allow the universe to meet me halfway on it. I go first, the universe responds. This is the new paradigm of balancing the energies and being in the masculine and the doing, and then leaning back and trusting and knowing that the universe is always conspiring in your favor and allowing the manifestation to come to you, right? Whatever it is that you want to receive. Old paradigm is the old ways, the old, you have to do it this way. This is the only way it works. You have to climb the corporate ladder. You have to work, for 40 years in a job you don't like, and then retire and hope you have enough money, and you hardly have, money to pay your bills, and you only get 3 weeks of vacation a year, and all that stuff. And you have to go to college and have a four-year degree, and then you have to go on to do graduate school. And then you better hope somebody that gets you a great job, because they're just really hard to come by. And then you have to work your ass off. You're going to have weekends. You're not going to have a home life. Forget about having children until you're in your mid 40s, because nobody has time for that. All of these old ways of doing things, we're putting in a stop to, okay? The new paradigm in feminine energy for women, thank God I am living at this time. This is why I'm here. This is why I incarnated here at this time. This is why you are here, is to change the world in this new paradigm, and that we get to have what we want. And then it gets to be easy. It gets to be effortless. We get to learn and incorporate the laws of the universe, which were created, that nobody has taught us about, to support what we desire, to support our manifestations. We get to have anything and everything we want, our own way, our own rules. We no longer have to work at something we don't want to work at, right? We get to tune into the silence, to the nature around us, to the universe that's ever supporting us, all of those things. Okay. This is new paradigm, and I am here for it. Here for it. I think you guys are too. So let's transition into the myths of receiving. So as I talk about this, I'm going to use money here as an example, okay, as a reference, but you can refer to anything here. So there are certain myths when it comes to receiving. And when we talk about receiving, this is receiving anything. Whatever you desire, you have to receive it, right? Unless you can create it from your own hands. Like as I'm sitting here, I don't know, I couldn't make this Yeti cup. I couldn't make these cough drops. What could I make? I can make a paper airplane. If you want to receive that, you can create that in your hands. That's one thing. But I'm talking about receiving your big level desires, whatever they are for you, your next level desires. And so I'm going to talk about money in this case. All right. And some myths when it comes to receiving in general, all of anything you want to receive. But again, I'm going to use money, is you have to work hard. You have to be lucky. You have to go to school. You have to sacrifice a lot. You got to get a degree. You got to marry rich. These are all BS myths to receiving. Okay. Let alone receiving money. So when you think about receiving, what would you like to believe about receiving? Right? Because we're writing our own rules here. What you'd like to believe about receiving. How about it's easy to receive? People love to pay me in this case. I'm limitless. Everything I desire is on its way to me. I'm high frequency, right? I'm a super attractor. These are your beliefs about receiving that I want you to calibrate into. These are the codes that I'm releasing to you as you're listening to me here, is that this is the truth. Because what's not the truth is what I said before. You have to work really hard, okay? That you have to sacrifice a lot, that you have to have a degree. These are all BS beliefs that we've been taught and told, and we're no longer here for them. We're here for easy, effortless. We're here for simple. Yes, maybe we have some blocks we have to work through totally until that comes true. And maybe we have to trust and surrender and know that like God, the universe, is bringing them to us. But it's easy to receive. That you can receive easily, that I don't have to prove my worthiness to receive. Yes, love that. You are so freaking worthy of receiving. Absolutely. You're limitless. Everything you desire is on its way to you. Everything. The universe wants to give you anything and everything you want. You're created here as a limitless being. You can absolutely receive easily. Tell me what feelings come up for you when you think of receiving your big desire. What feelings might come up? Oftentimes for me, it's like this heaviness in my chest of like this anxiousness, and it comes from, and then I'll think about this. I'll walk you through actually what I do when I get these feelings. I allow myself to feel those feelings. I'm like, okay, I'm feeling anxious in my chest. All right. So what does that mean when I feel anxious in my chest? Oh, it means I don't know. It means I'm getting worried. Okay, well, what am I anxious about? I'm anxious about this desire coming true. Like, how is it going to happen? But I'm like, whoa, why am I thinking about the how? It's not my job to think about how it's going to happen. It's my job to receive it. So oftentimes we get caught up in I desire XYZ, yet I can't see how I'm actually going to manifest that desire. And then we get caught up on the how, but frankly, it's not our responsibility to know the how. It's our responsibility to get really clear on what we want and take aligned, inspired action, and then trust, surrender, and believe that God and the universe are bringing it to us. Period. End of story. So I'll ask myself, okay, I'm worried about the how, but it's not my job to worry about the how. So can I let this go and not feel anxious about my desire? Totally. Or sometimes some other things will come up and I'll have to ask myself, like, okay, I'm anxious because I don't know what it means when that desire actually comes to fruition. What is my life going to look like? What if my family doesn't love me anymore? What if whatever. And then I literally, you guys will have a conversation with myself and say like, okay, well, if my family doesn't love me anymore, that would hurt really bad. But do I really think that's going to happen? No. Do I think that some people might be offended? Yes. But am I here to be an expander? Yes. And do I think that my family loves me enough that we can work through this? Yes. And am I always going to be okay no matter what? Yes. Have I always been okay no matter what before? Yes. And have I been through some shit before? Yes. Okay. So I'm already feeling better. I allow myself to feel those feelings, and I literally have a conversation with myself. So many times Nick will come in. I usually do this in my office or in my room. And I'm just talking, and he's like, I'll ask you when you're done there. It's like, okay. It's just like, it's part of it now. And my kids, same thing. Nick sometimes will too. He never really says it out loud, but I'm like, oh, what are you doing? He likes to have a conversation with me about it. But all right. I think there can be a feeling of shame in wanting things if your ways to be humble, not materialistic, etc. This is a huge one. And this is so good. And thank you for sharing. Feeling this is amazing. This is so true. And I come from like really humble roots, my father in particular. So I can so relate to this. And the feelings of the shame and the feelings of the guilt for wanting more when you were raised and you have an incredible life already, right? There is this, especially as women, we have this belief that like, how could we want more when like there's so many people that don't even have food on their table? There's so many people that like don't even have a car to drive, or like can't keep the lights on in their home. Like, how could I actually want this big thing, like this brand new car, this vacation, or $1 million or whatever? Here's the thing. If you have a desire in your heart, a big desire like that, God, the universe, source placed that in your heart, and it's for you. And when you can release the shame and the guilt of that desire and actually embrace it and say, like, this is really what I want, what happens is the universe says, like, oh my gosh, yay. She finally has released her feelings of shame and guilt, and she's becoming a match for it, right? And what happens is when you manifest that big thing, your family, yes, may see like, whoa, why did she need that? But you're expanding for them and you're an example for them. And the more of us that step out in our desires and claim them fully, we expand the consciousness of the planet, which is what we're here for, which in then turn, you guys, money, let's use this example, money in the hands of good people does incredible things. The more women, the more of me, of you all that are watching this that have incredible amounts of money in our hand, the world changes. When I write my $50,000 check to the Siren Shelter, Women's Shelter this year, when you know, I honestly, I haven't set any big goals past this, but when I write a 6-figure check to the Lansing Women's Shelter in town, or the homeless shelter, or whatever it can be, that is how the world changes. And so by you claiming your desires fully and aligning to working through your shame and your guilt, which you can do that by what I just said, by feeling the shame and the guilt in your body, allowing it to pass through your body and ask you the questions. Why do I feel ashamed of this? Why do I feel guilty of this? Okay, I feel that way. Why? When else have I felt shame and guilt in my life? When this happened. Okay. And did that turn out okay for me? Yes. Is it scary to think that my family might judge me? Yep. Is it scary to think that they might not look at me the same way? Yep. But I have this deep desire in my heart. Am I willing to keep playing small and keep shoving this desire down and not live my best fulfilled life? When frankly, that's what I came here for, this limitless, unlimited life. And by me receiving everything I want, I also am an example for other people, including my family, to see that anything and everything they want, it's possible for them too. Because if it's friggin' possible for me and I've done it, it's friggin' possible for you. So I love that question. And I would invite you to do the work and asking yourself why you feel that way and allowing yourself to feel the shame and work through it. Allow it to flow through your body, because I'd be willing to bet that maybe you haven't allowed your emotion to fully process through your body of the shame, because it's something that is so often as women we have to work through. And if we've never allowed it to process through our bodies and to have a logical conversation about it, and or because I know you're on MMA, you could also do tapping, the EFT tapping in the resources section. I think that's in module 14. You could tap that out. When we don't allow that to fully process through our bodies, we store that. And if you think of a computer screen or a computer, and when you have a million windows open, which every time if you feel shame and guilt, instead of actually feeling the shame and allowing it to pass through your body, if you go into fix it mode, if you go into masculine mode, your feelings, your emotions are feminine energy. But if we're too afraid to feel them, and we can't fix a feminine energy problem, feminine energy emotion with masculine energy. If we go from I feel shame to like masculine, okay, I'm going to fix it. I'm going to go cook, clean the kitchen. I'm going to go cook. I'm going to go make this fabulous pie for my family, whatever. I'm going to go out shopping and spend a bunch of money because I can't feel this feeling. It stays stuck in our body, just like a computer screen. And we have a million of them open and it's stuck in our body. And stuck emotions in your body lead to things that none of us want anymore. Okay. Excess weight, anxiety, stress, judgment, shame, guilt, all of those more things that we don't want, right? So I would invite you to look and allow that to pass through your body, because you are worthy of anything and everything you desire. And you are here, that big desire, you are here to be an expander for yourself and your family. Despite what you were taught growing up, those desires were placed on you by God and the universe and source for you to have, right? So now I want to talk about, this is a perfect transition into the two most common blocks that I see when it comes as it relates to receiving and manifestation, okay? One of them is unworthiness, which we talked about this, right? In a lot of ways, and this is something being worthy of your desires. So let me just tell you right now, You were born worthy. It's your birthright. Worthiness is your birthright. And as women, we're taught to find our worthiness externally, right? From our GPA, from our parents, from our boyfriends, from our boss, from our spouse. We look for it outside of ourselves. Oh, when we weigh this certain number on the scale, when this wrinkle finally goes away on my face, when I'm not so freaking sunburned, when I fit into those skinny jeans, when I finally pay off my student loan debt, when I can make the Pinterest cookies and send them to school with my kids for their birthday. Yeah, that I'm freaking worthy of being an awesome mom, right? We look for worthiness externally, but here is the truth. Worthiness comes from within. So who are you waiting to tell you that you're worthy to receive your big desire, your big manifestation? Who are you expecting to come up today and ring your doorbell and be like, knock, knock, like a little knock there? Hello, I just wanted to tell you that you are finally worthy of your manifestation. Please accept it. Guess what? The FedEx guy who's driving around trying to deliver your manifestation, trying to get you to receive it, he's not even going to say that to you. It's you. You need to tell yourself you're worthy. You don't need your parents to tell you, or your boss, or your spouse, or your friend. I'm responsible for my worthiness, and so are you. Worthiness is an inside job. It's an inside job. And it's hard because as women, right, we want to do all the things for everyone else. And this is hard because as a child, I could tell my worthiness. I was worthy from getting approval from my parents as a teenager, as a college student, etc. But now I know it's a decision to be worthy, and it's mine to claim, just like it's yours to claim. You are worthy and nothing has changed. You were born worthy and nothing's changed. Worthiness is your birthright. Everybody is worthy. So many times we get caught up on this, Sally down the street has this and I don't. How could she be worthy of that and I'm not? We're going to talk about this in a minute, but when you pit yourself against somebody else, you're judging your own worthiness and you're making it mean something, and you're comparing them to you. And the truth is, in creation, in God's eyes, in the universe's eyes, in the source's eyes, you're the same. Regardless of the size jeans you wear, regardless of what your high school GPA was, regardless of how much money you make, regardless of how many times a day you yell at your freaking kids, regardless of your marital status, regardless of the car in your driveway, you are worthy, you are worthy, you are worthy. And the more you can stop talking shit to yourself and start embracing yourself for all that you are, all the incredibleness that you are, the more you can begin to feel your worthiness. The more you can begin to peel back the layers of how freaking incredible you are. And if you don't think you're worthy yet, do the inner work. Start talking to yourself in the mirror. Shadow work. One of my favorite things to do, not favorite things, but one of my favorite things to do is to get naked in front of the mirror and talk nice to myself about how incredible I am, how incredible I look, how incredible I feel, all the incredible things I've done, all the incredible things I'm going to do, what a great mom I am, what a great wife I am, all the things, and like freaking look at my body. And then every time I hear myself talk shit about myself, my girlfriends and I have it packed. We literally, as soon as we hear it, say it, type it, we're like, nope, none of that, moving on. Something else, redirecting the behavior, because we as women are taught to not admire ourselves when here's the thing, we are such a freaking masterpiece. How can you start seeing yourself like a masterpiece? Because you are one. Borrow some of my belief, because you are. And here's the bottom line. You signed up for this human experience. You're currently having, and you get to have a limitless, desire-filled life. The universe, God, source wants to give you the most abundant life. You just have to be willing to receive it. So are you willing to receive it? Are you willing to open the door? Are you willing to put yourself out there and claim what's yours and boldly say, I desire this. I desire my next level job, my next level career. I desire X amount of money. I desire, what is your big manifestation? I desire this. I'm freaking claiming it. And then align with it The second thing, the biggest block I see when it comes to receiving and manifestation is the lack and scarcity. The lack and scarcity are feelings in which our vibe gets like thrown off, right? It gives us a lower vibration. And we have to be an energetic match. So like if you want to manifest $1 million, you have to be an energetic match for it. And if you can imagine, an energetic match for $1 million is like bold. This is my interpretation, is bold, responsible, getting after it, loving life, freaking grateful, okay? Versus lack and scarcity are like, poor me, there's never enough. I don't know what to do. I'm not good enough. Sally has this and I don't, and I'm so mean and angry and blah, 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 right? Difference in vibration. So you're never going to be matched for this if you're in lack and scarcity thinking. Whatever we don't see, whatever we don't have, we see ourselves in is lack. So for example, your neighbor down the street got a new car and you want it, but you don't have it. You feel lack, right? You feel shame, guilt. Like, why don't I have it? The girl online has something that you don't have. What story are you telling yourself about it? Are you saying she's good and I'm not? She's better than me. She has it and I can't. What story are you saying? What lies are you telling yourself? Because they're just stories that you're saying. They're not necessarily true, right? Who says she's better than you? Who says she's good? Who says you can't also have it? What if instead you told yourself that by her having that car, it's an example that you get to have it too? Because she has it, the universe is literally showing you it's possible for you too. This is why I love this work, because there are so many people who signed up to raise the consciousness of this planet. And that's exactly what we're doing here, is we get to have real life examples of it everywhere in our life and online. And these examples are activation portals. So instead of comparing, making it mean something that Sally down the street has the car and I don't, making it mean something that is bad about me, can you see it instead as an activation portal? Because the fact that she has it means it's possible for me too. And the fact that when you see her with that car, you're like, oh, and you feel that like, oh, before, or even sometimes after, if it gets to you, you're like, oh, she has it and I don't. And you feel that kind of ping of judgment or jealousy judgment. Can you tell yourself, actually, she has something she has that and I desire that too. She has that and I desire that too. And it's possible for me too. Because here's the truth. We live in a universe with unlimited possibilities, right? So what's possible for her is possible for me. Get freaking happy about that, because the universe is literally showing you proof what's available for you and brought it into your reality for you to confirm that you still do indeed desire it. So many times, and this is why social media, I freaking love social media, but if we can see it in a different way, if we can see it in a way that like, okay, when you're scrolling and you see someone and I don't know, they have a new car or they have like a fabulously fit body, right? And you're like, oh, seriously, I'm never gonna look like that. I don't know how that could ever be possible. Like, whatever, she's too good and I'm not. Instead of that, can be like, oh my gosh, she's just a regular person. We both incarnated here on earth together to have a human experience. If that's possible for her, it's possible for me too. Totally possible. Oh, she has $1 million business. Oh, sweet, I could have $1 million business. Oh, she grew overnight in her business. Like, oh my gosh, I can grow overnight in my business. When this happens, instead of being, I'm going to use the word triggered, instead of being triggered, instead of being jealous, instead of being like judging, why can't that happen to me? I'm not good enough. Telling yourself a BS story that isn't true. Can you instead say to yourself like, oh my gosh, that happened to her? That's so cool. I'm next. This is one of the best things I've ever done for myself, is when like people are popping off like popcorn and my clients are like manifesting like crazy, like calling in money in their businesses, all these things. And with my coach and in the group that she manages, like people are just like, boom, 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 boom. And I'm like, okay. And I'm not feeling that personally yet. At this time, I wasn't. And I'm like, okay, this is so cool because it's in my vortex. The fact that it's showing up for me is like, the universe is like, hey, Jess, do you still want that? Do you want that? Do you want it? Do you want it? Do you want it? I'm like, yes, I want it. I want it. I want it. I want it. What? I can't wait. I'm so grateful. Oh, I can feel what it feels like. All the things. boom, it happens. I got so busy being so freaking happy with my life and in gratitude, boom, that's when it happened. When all of these things start happening to you, become aware of it now. And instead of getting triggered, become activated. Like, oh yeah, I'm next. All right, it's coming to me. I'm so grateful. Thank you, universe. Yes, please. More, please. Become activated, not triggered. When you get triggered, you lower your frequency because you're comparing. You're in lack. You're in scarcity. Why don't I have it? She has it. I don't. She's better than me. I'm not good enough. I'll never happen. I've been trying forever. Like, just doesn't work for me. Blah, 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 blah. No, it doesn't. That's law of attraction 101. You're attracting more crap like that you're talking about instead of what you do really want. So I want to ask you again, what do you want to receive? Manifest. What do you want to manifest? What do you want to receive? Can you say it out loud? You can type it if you want to me, or say it out loud. What do you want to receive? What do you want to manifest? And then how do you feel about it when you think about receiving that? That thing that you really want, that thing that you just told me about what you wanted to receive, manifest. How do you feel about it when you think about it? Now that we've talked about it. And how can you feel? Where do you feel it in your body when you think about that manifestation coming true? I feel it in my belly. I love feeling it in my body because this is what happens when you can feel it in your body, like pinpoint the area that you feel it in and activate it. This is raising the frequency of receiving it. It's like bringing the energy in to receive it. What's it going to feel like? Ooh, yeah. Who am I going to call? Nick and I are going to be dancing, all the things. It needs to feel real in your body. All right. If, for example, you want to manifest $1 million year in your business and you can't feel it in your body, that might mean that it might be too big for you right now. It might mean that your mind can't wrap around $1 million a year. So could you say a 6-figure year? Can you feel that in your body? Can you get excited behind that? Because here's what I want you to do about your desire. I want you to feel it in your body, and I want you to feel real in your body. And I don't want you to freak yourself out, your central nervous system out. It needs to stay calm so you can see it, hold it, feel it. I want you to be able to feel the feelings of it. So even if you have to walk your desire down one level, that's okay. Because the big context is $1 million a year. But right now, what you're thinking, feeling about is 6 figures. Like, whoa, it's so exciting. It is in the little receiving of lunch being paid for, the door open for you, someone lifting your luggage on the plane, being open to receive. So you can also be open to the FedEx guy driving around your neighborhood trying to deliver your manifestation. Don't be too proud to receive it. Be open to receive the limitless possibilities around you. 3 steps. I'm going to give them to you to receiving your manifestation. 1, get super clear on what you want to receive. Receive, i.e. manifest. Remember how you want it to feel in your body, right? You want it to feel, we're not going for scary here. We want it to feel good. Feel the feelings of it. 2, take aligned action, inspired action. Contrary to what you might hear, everyone says feminine energy is just laying on the couch, eating bonbons, and you receive your manifestation just like it falling in your lap. It doesn't happen that way. You have to take aligned, inspired action. So many of my clients are like, I don't know what my aligned, inspired action is. And I'll say, when was the last time you went for a walk without your phone or without music on? Or you just literally sat outside without reading a book or scrolling or without your kids in the background, in the silence. Get in the silence, get in the stillness. When was the last time you meditated, you closed your eyes and didn't play music for 15 minutes in the silence? This is where inspired action comes in. This is how you get in tune with your intuition until you're so in tune that, like, my voice has been talking to me this whole masterclass, until you can tune back in because you've tuned her out for so long, tune back in the silence. You'll start to get that inspired action. And then your only job is to listen, take the action. Don't talk yourself out of it because it's your intuition. That's your aligned action. Take the action. And then guess what? Lean back, be in the feminine energy. Lean back, receive, see what else the universe has for you. Take the action, back away. I'm about to tell you guys, I delivered this bomb potent masterclass to you, which I loved your engagement. I loved being here. I'm so glad we did this at night. I loved this. I'm going to be moving more of my master classes at night. Actually, the next 3 I think I have scheduled are at night. So super pumped about that. But I have delivered this to you guys, my masculine energy and the giving and the doing. And then I'm going to give you a way that we can work together further if you want to deepen this work. And then I'm going to lean back and I'm going to receive. I'm going to lean back. I'm going to take a bath. I'm going to leave my phone for the night. And I'm going to receive whatever the universe has for me. Because I will have done the work. I will have served the F out of you. I hope you found it. I know you've gotten exactly what you need from this. And then I'm going to lean back and receive. That's it, you guys. Take the inspired action. The inspired action for me was to deliver this class to you, was to outline it, was to channel straight from the universe directly to you, and then lean back and receive. The last thing, number 3, that you can do to receive your manifestation is to hold the belief of what you want to receive and know it's on its way to you now. Now, listen, I know this is by far the hardest, but I said this earlier, it's not our job to know the how. We're all connected to source, to God, the universe, who gives us our inspired action, right? I just shared with you what mine was to deliver this class to you, to channel directly from the universe to you. And ideas, and the universe takes care of us and meets us halfway in everything, right? We go first, the universe meets us. The universe responds. The universe is here to bring all of our desires into our reality, made manifest in our physical reality. And even though our little mind can't see how that might happen, right? How could I actually call in this dream property of mine? How could I call in this president of a corporate job career, right? Even though we can't see the how, everything is possible. Look at all the people around you who are the walking examples of it, right? How many times has something happened to you in your life and you're like, wow, that was amazing. And I never saw that coming. I never would have been able to put that together, the how. Never, never, ever, ever. What happens when you're in a bad mood? You attract similar frequency things, like a stain on your shirt. You drop a glass, right? And the glass freaking takes forever to clean up, doesn't it? You have a flat tire, you have a client quit, whatever, right? When you're in a bad mood, that's law of attraction 101. When you operate in high frequency, you attract from a high frequency place. Now, this doesn't mean you can never be in a low vibe, have a bad mood, but don't take action from that place. Don't show up to work on your business or your life or your marriage from a low frequency place. Show up when you're in that high frequency place. When you're in the low frequency place, go take a nap, go for a walk, go outside, take a bath. Law of attraction 101, feel your feelings, right? Feel the shame, feel the guilt, feel the emotions that come up for you. Let them pass through you. Talk to yourself logically, let it flow through you. Stop keeping all those windows open. Let the emotion pass through you. It's okay. Talk to yourself. How bad is it going to get? What are you really afraid of? As women, to receive is how we were created. Women are goddesses. We have this goddess energy to be taken care of. Can we allow ourselves to be in this energy and receive? I know in this modern world, we're taught that we have to be, do, have all of the things ourselves, but in reality, that's not how we were designed. We were designed to receive from the world of the universe. And it feels dang good when we do. Dang good when we do. So how can you receive more today than yesterday, and more tomorrow than today? Because everything is here for you. You live in this limitless world. I'm so honored to have had the time with you guys today. So honored. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.